Hello, everybody. Welcome to Working Wisely. My name is Roman Rosnovsky, and I'm co-founder of Workstreams.ai, which is the ultimate task management application which helps modern teams like yours to get their stuff done on a daily basis in distributed world. That means it's probably all of you who are facing the same challenges today, and that's how do we organize all our work under one roof to be done the same way. We are here to help. What is Working Wisely? Working Wisely is our new series of productivity tips and tricks on how to get the most out of your usage of Workstreams AI application. Today, I'm joined by Bruno, who is our video producer, helping me to stream all this beauty, and Lucas, who is our software engineer, to help me to broadcast all the questions from you directly to further to our backstage so we can actually answer them. Before we go and dive deeper, I would like to share a couple of words about this format and how this thing will all work. So we aim to meet once per month, and that would be every first Tuesday of a month at 5 p.m. of Berlin time, which is 4 p.m. GMT, and if I believe correctly, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Now, I have a little presentation which will get us through where we are, and basically, what we would like to do is we would like to focus on the use cases from our audience, which is you. And from these use cases, we aim to pick one useful workflow every month and show you how you can optimize and automate a little bit of your work and to make your daily life a little bit easier. Second part of our session will be directed at answering the questions which come very often, and second part of that second part will be also about trying to address questions if there are any coming through the live chat on YouTube. So if you are watching live, please feel free to submit any questions you might have to our chat, and we will try to answer them by end of the session. The last part of our Working Wisely session will be about showing you quickly or talking about what is coming soon and what might be available in our beta tier, which you are always welcome to join. So, without further ado, please allow me to jump into the useful workflow of month February, which is about employee onboarding. We all went through that as soon as we start working in a new company, or if we are on the other side of the bridge and we are welcoming our new members, we need to make sure that everybody is onboarded effectively, nothing is missed, and ideally we have a process which allows everybody to understand what needs to be done and any loose ends. So for that we prepared a new thing, basically a set of features which we work on for a while, and I would like to present to you how this all together can help you and your company to get effective employee onboarding. So I'm in my Workstreams.ai web application, and I'm logging into as a Lagata Lovebrook, which is our fixture's name, my favorite hero from Vikings. And first thing I would like to show you is the new concept of a Workstreams workflow library. This feature is still available, is currently available in a public beta program, and feel free to drop us an email. We will be happy to turn this on for you. What are our workflows is something which I would like to show right now. So Workstreams workflows are mix of existing features bundled together to allow unmatched transparency over processes which are being incorporated inside of your company, and allow easy customization of your task boards, bundles the task boards configuration with a task templates, custom fields, and a set of labels which are matching given workflow. Now, we will be bringing together expertise from different areas of our user base and publishing libraries of publishing workflows, which will allow you to just quickly use that workflow and bootstrap your whole organization of a given process. However, you will be always allowed to customize it in a way you would like to, shift the things around, add additional work steps, and add any additional information you might want to add. The same applies to custom fields and labels, but that's not what I want to do now. Now I would like to focus primarily on using existing workflow and just applying it to a new task board. By doing so, by clicking on use workflow, I get to select the name of a task board, because by applying workflow, I create task board in the first place. So let's call it employee onboarding team A. You can always change the topic or description of your task board. I leave it as it is by default. As you can see, the workflow has been applied and the task board configuration is exactly in the way which was pre-configured. I have a workflow task templates which are prepared for me, available straight away to be used. And if I use one of these, for example, use freelance hires, I certain label. These labels, which were part of the workflow, are straight away available in the list. Additionally, the custom fields which were selected in the workflow are also available straight away, and I can just add the values which I would like to add. So, for example, if you would like to hire John Snow on a position of senior defender of realm, we can do so. Starting date, ideally, maybe beginning of next week. And description would be learn how to fly dragon. We have prepared subtasks which allow us straight away to go forward in our process. So now with this setup, we have the minimum configuration needed for successful onboarding of Jon Snow. Now, that would be all pretty straightforward, and I didn't show you really anything, I guess, new. You were already able to add the custom fields, you were already able to add the labels, and you were able to customize the task board. However, what is new is the option of recreating the same experience by pressing only one button. Yeah, maybe sometimes it's the two buttons. It's still in our public beta, so excuse it. I pressed the wrong button, and instead of pressing enter, I had to press the setup task board. As you can see, I'm on the Team B task board, and here I can choose the same template and hire Daenerys. So this allows easy scaling of any onboarding activities across multiple teams. I can choose between multiple task boards or see them in the same moment and compare how the process looks like. As you can see, they are basically identical. So let's get back to our onboarding over Jon Snow, and I switch back to a single view. The next thing I would like to show you is a concept of our work step owners and work step assignees. So while it's our ideology of how the collaborative work is done has been always very free and open, and we allowed anybody to make changes in any column with no restrictions, no administrations. We identified through a discussion with many professionals that this kind of freedom is great, but it's also not really helpful when it comes to processes where you need certain authorizations. I would give an example that, for example, on the pre-onboarding step, we want to have one person who is the single person who actually can make changes to these given tasks, unless he decides to assign it to somebody else and delegate the work. So by choosing a work step owners, you can choose one or multiple. You make sure that nobody else can make any changes on a given task. What I can do, for example, I can create a different column where I add multiple people to help me to administer this column. And when I assign this task to me, while I'm owner or I'm assignee, I'm allowed to do all these changes. as soon as I move it to the column where I'm not anymore owner, which I will simulate in a second, all these things will disappear. So what I will do now, I will unassign myself, and I will remove myself from the work step owner's settings. At this stage, the task became locked, and I cannot really do anything else except of copying the task link, save as a template, or following the task. Now it will be to somebody else who is owner of such a column to make the next step and move Jon Snow anywhere further. Nevertheless, I would like to show you more features, and for that maybe we choose on-premises hire, which has a little bit more complexity than a freelance hire. On-premise hire, as it usually is the case, maybe not that much these days, but in normal world where you all used to live in, we came to the office. And being able to come to the office, we needed access to the office. We needed maybe office tour, and we would probably go for a lunch with somebody. So all these things are encapsulated inside of our on-premises hire task template. And I would like to show you how you can give a little bit more of granular control over each of these tasks. So by introducing work step owners, we also brought in auto assignees, which allows you exactly what it says. When any task is moved to given task work step, the task is pre-assigned to selected assignee. As simple as that, allows you a lot of easy life, where all you have to do is just to make sure the task ends up in the right column and the right person gets automatically notified and the task is assigned. Now, we took this idea into even further step, and that is you can decide to lock certain work steps, certain subtasks to a given work step. So given the fact that we would like to, would make sense, but let's get back to the office topic. We want to make sure that the workstation is ready before the new employee starts. So we can choose that the arrange workstation subtask should be done in a pre-onboarding. And we can make sure that the give office tour work step should be done within our orientation work step. The same can be on introduce company goals, which should be done in the orientation process. Now, this is very simple, and you can easily say that by choosing when should something be done, you provide more clarity. What you would like to hear from our audience is what might be the easier ways how to display this functionality. We heard options of hiding the subtasks which are not really valid for given work step, or highlighting them even more. We would like to hear more from you. You're allowed to make any changes, basically check and uncheck the given subtask because I'm not in given work step. But what I can do is I can check the arrange workstation as long as I'm in the pre-onboarding. As soon as I enter orientation, now watch the difference between these two tasks. I'm assigning in a column which I don't own. That means I can make changes on the task. Here I can still do changes on a given on the given list of subtasks, and I can also decide to assign the subtask to somebody else. Which brings me to a next topic which we brought in recently, and it's available in our public beta, and that is support for multiple subtask interactions. By using the classic keyboard shortcuts of Control and Shift, you can select multiple subtask items and take one action in one go. So for example, I can decide that all of these for work subtasks should be done by Ivan. I can also say that all of these should be done on 11th of February. And last but not least, I also can choose that all of these should be done in orientation step. To get out of this operation menu, all you need to do is just click here or click outside. The changes are always automatically saved. Right. That would basically be, I think, most from what I want to show from the process of utilizing a workflow and customizing it to your needs. I believe your imagination might take it further, and you already might be seeing how would you customize your workflow after you apply it. We would love to hear from you. If you might have an idea for a workflow which we might be missing in our library, which at this stage might be many of them, please get in touch. We would like to hear from you, and we would be more than happy to collaborate on a very useful workflows. That would be, I think, everything from what I wanted to show on this. To get access to this feature, please get in touch with us, as it's not fully publicly available. It's under our extensive list of beta features. Write us an email or drop us a message on Slack, and we will be happy to activate it for you. Now let's get back to the second part of our show. Questions and answers. So we get very, very often a question, how can I sort and filter my tasks? Let me quickly show you how this can be done. I would like to highlight how easy it is to navigate within our sections of our web app. You might have seen our shortcuts, and I would like to show them again because they are super simple and very handy. They don't even require, for most of them, to use command or control. They are just the first letters of the sections you are looking for. So to access my tasks, I just press M, and all I get is a list of my tasks which I need to work on today, or I was supposed to work on already in the past. So now to the question of how do I sort and filter my tasks view. This applies to my task, follow tasks, and also team tasks. So all of these views operate on the same principle, and that is we separate between overdue, scheduled, not scheduled, and there's a couple of more granularities on the scheduled section, like end of week, tomorrow, today. So all the sections which have a time mentioned inside of them, it means they are somehow scheduled, are not really sortable at this stage. What we allow, though, all tasks which are not scheduled have a drag and drop possibility, and you can choose the prioritization exactly as you like. If you do not do any customization on this, or you do not resort them, they are sorted automatically by the original priority coming from different boards. As you can see, I'm mixing many different boards into one view. That means the priority might not really be always relative, and you might want to switch to your manual view. However, if you are working on top of one board, they will respect the priority from the original board, and you might be able to choose from priority and manual view. This view is only for you. I mean, this sorting is only applied to every single user, and you do not share it with anybody else. So that would be on sorting. All the sections which are scheduled are not sortable at this stage. Now on filtering, as you can see, we have a couple of labels applied. For example, Steve Carter has a label of customer support and orientation and a specialist. So if I would like to see all tasks which have a label customer support, I can navigate to filter, choose label, and pick customer support from this list. You can always just type to narrow down your scope. By applying this filter, I get down to only single task. That gives me a very, very narrow view of what I'm looking for. Now let's imagine that I actually do not know what I'm looking for, and I just remember it was something related to Ragnar. By typing RA, it performs a wild filter search or filter through any text available in the task. So I need to narrow it down to Ragnar, and then I get down to one task which I was actually looking for. This way, you can easily filter on main properties available inside of Workstreams, and you can also combine them by choosing firstly, for example, label, or other way, first choosing due date and saying until end of next week, which narrows down a list to just a few tasks, and then, for example, by publishing company values, by filtering by text. So we can combine these filters together, and again, this filtering works in my tasks, follow tasks, team tasks, task boards, it's everywhere the same. So that would be to our first question. Our second question, what are labels good for? How can labels help to organize my task board? Right, so I think I was trying to prepare myself to this answer already by showing how the labels can be helpful inside of my tasks. Search for taskboard or goal, Command K, Control K, very simple tool. You might know it from Slack. It's the same shortcut. It gets you quickly to your taskboards. Right, so I switched to a hiring board, which is a board where we started on the beginning, and I have a little workflow where we simulate hiring of multiple positions in the same moment. As you can see, it might be quite difficult to follow what am I actually looking at right now. For that, it's very important that you categorize your tasks the right way. For example, Jon Snow, marketing manager, has a label Game of Thrones, junior position, and marketing. What you would like to know maybe is that John has also skills of riding a dragon, and for that we might want to add a label of dragon. So the label is applied, and we have captured critical information about who on this board is able to ride a dragon. Now back to the point, if I would like to find out who is the dragon in here, you can easily do it by picking one label. This simply illustrates how powerful labeling of your data is. It's the highest value you can add to your data in the long term, because with more tasks coming in your environment, in your workspace, if you label it better, Workstreams.ai will be able to offer you further features which will allow you aggregation of the statistics on the labels. The first start of them is a goals feature, which we might cover in one of our next sessions. Now, last but not least, is a question about reducing the noise when using Workstreams inside of Slack. I will try to read it. When creating a lot of tasks with Workstreams, it becomes very noisy in our communication channel. How can we reduce this noise? Right. So this is very common question, and it's been present with us since the early days, and we have very interesting ways how to actually deal with this problem. Just to show what this problem might be actually about, it's about a lot of tasks happening in one channel. So we are looking at the same hiring board, what we were looking at in this view, but inside of a Slack. I apologize for these notifications. Now, as you can see, it can actually occupy quite a lot of space, and the normal communication can easily get lost. Workstreams operates in 3 different views. It offers classic full view, which is the one we are looking at right now, which shows summary of where the task is standing currently now. It gives you the full description, list of all subtasks, list of all custom fields, and gives you the access to all editing options. This, if the task has a lot of content, can take a lot of space. For that reason, we brought in 2019, I believe, a choice between a basic, compact, and full view. So what I would suggest is, if you have a lot of tasks which are taking a lot of space, you might want to switch to compact view. Compact view is the minimalistic view which allows only display of the current status and who is working on it, due date, amount of attachments, and amount of subtasks. You can always decide to click edit and get further information on the task, take any changes, up to you. And you can always decide to switch back to full view. As simple as that. The basic view is something in between, which gives you still the summary and gives you access to the most important actions you can take on a given task. So for example, you can quickly reassign it, you can add any other label, and finally complete your task. Now, this is all great on one task. However, the main thing is, how do I do this for all tasks on given task board? For that, we have also added a very simple way, and that is it's accessible from multiple ways. We suggest to use the pinned message provided by Workstreams. So by clicking on pinned items, I can remove this one, which was for my testing purposes. Every task board where Workstream is added contains a pinned message inside of your channel, which gives you handy access to buttons which you might need the most. The most interesting which we want to look at right now is settings. This settings gives you actually access to exactly what I was explaining right now on a single task, but on all tasks. So if I choose full view, that means all tasks from now on will contain all information. Compact view will make all tasks to appear in the small way. And the basic view is the mix between them. So let me choose the basic view. And you can also see we also provide information about who did what and who changed the configuration and when. So as you can see, it says that 1 minute ago, I changed it to the basic format as a default for all new tasks in hiring board. That means if I create a new task for hiring, let's say we want to hire John B, then this task automatically appears in the basic view. There is one other option which sometimes is needed if you have really high volume and your communication gets completely lost. However, by choosing disabled, you will completely disconnect Workstreams from your communication channel, and you will not receive any information about the task created in given channel anymore. It doesn't mean that the tasks are not created. If you do /plan or use any other means of creating a task, this task will still be created. Now, the same configuration obviously exists also on the side of our taskboard. And as you can see, I took the changes and I switched to basic view, and the basic view is straight away available in this view. And I can also choose compact view from here, save that, come back to Slack, and the same information about the compact view has been broadcasted. I can choose settings, and the configuration is done in compact view. So this is how you can easily reduce the noise for all messages coming from Workstreams to Slack. Now the next section is about what's coming soon. So as I showed earlier, the workflows library is currently in a beta testing phase, and we are doing an extensive testing. On the next session, this should be live and fully available for customizations on your end, for your additions, and any further feedback. What we are currently also working on is a way how we can remove jumping back and forth between the taskboard and Slack, and bring the communication on the task themselves directly into your taskboards. Stay tuned. This will be something which will allow way less context switching to get your work done. The third topic which we have currently open is bringing in more taskboard automation. If I should describe it in a simple way, imagine that at the end of your procurement workflow, when the task is actually when the item which you procured is currently delivered, the task moves automatically to accounting. Or from back to onboarding session, you process a new hire, and you just hired somebody. That task representing this resource automatically moves to onboarding workflow from hiring workflow. So just to give you a hint, this is what we are looking at right now. Now I will switch from this presentation and quickly ask Lucas if we have any questions in the live audience. Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Robin. Nice presentation. Thanks for that. At the moment, we don't have any questions, but maybe some will come now, where we finished the official presentation. Let's see.
Okay, good. Can I ask you what is your favorite feature from what I've just been showing?
I think the auto assigning is quite nice. This can highlight and also the owner. This can streamline the process a little bit further, I think, and the workflows itself to customize your workflow and having this always available to reproduce the same structure is also quite handy, I think.
Yeah, thank you.
There's one question how the general beta view can be accessed. I think maybe you want to share this quickly. You showed this a couple of times, or I think one time. But in general, when you are coming from Slack, you can simply type add workstreams and then beta into a Slack channel where the bot is present, and then
let me quickly demonstrate it. So by choosing add workstreams and typing beta, you will get a list of currently available features, and you can always choose to either opt out if you are in the beta or opt in. So if I say, okay, no more beta, this team has straight away lost access to all beta features. The same way, you can quickly enable this by saying the same thing, Workstreams beta and join beta.
exactly. And then a follow-up question on this: if the owners and the assignees are currently in beta, that's correct. And when you go to the web app and you are in the beta tier, then you have via the user menu, you can enable and disable the features on the web app itself.
Let me show that as well. Exactly. So if you are in the beta tier, then you are able to choose any of the features which are in this tier and quickly enable and disable them. So for example, the work step owners, which are represented by this icon, if I click work step owners here, the work step owners disappeared. The same way, if I choose work step assignees, now the whole thing is gone. Yeah, and this way you can easily enable anything you would like to. Hopefully that does answer the question.
Yeah, we already got some feedback. Okay, and then there's one question: if or when are we expecting to have more advanced filter and sorting coming for the My Task section?
That's a good question. More advanced filtering and sorting. I would like to hear more about that. So please, can you send us some feedback either at feedback@Workstreams.ai or via Slack, just so we can maybe take it further and arrange a call, because we definitely are looking for long-term replacement of filter with search, which would allow you to do a little bit more than just filtering. But for the advanced sorting, we would like to hear about your use case and what exactly you are looking for.
Yeah, hope that answers the question, or at least we can get to something which is useful for that person. Further, will it be possible to share the workflow templates that I personally created, for example, with other friends in the organization or in another organization? Sorry.
Okay, so at this stage, what we are looking at are 3 different categories of workflows. There will be generic workflows, which come from Workstreams.ai. Then there'll be your private workflows, which means your private team workflows, shared and available within your organization. We still need to tweak a little bit about little details about the ownership and who is allowed to make changes on these private workflows. And then there will be third category, which will allow anybody to publish their workflows to a public library. But this one is probably going to come with a little delay, because we first need to collect more feedback, find a way on how we're going to do the editorial process of this. But it's planned and it's on the roadmap. And if you are interested in anything like that, please let us know, because there is a bigger concept behind that.
Exactly. And the last question for now, at least, the features which are in the workflow related features, are they in the free tier, or is this going to the premium or pro tier?
So all the features which come with certain aspect of automation, like auto assignee, work step owners, these are part of the premium tier. The bulk actions are part of freemium tier, and the workflows I think will be part of the premium tier as well.
Okay, so I think that's it so far.
Okay, great. Then thanks a lot for watching. You can always send us an email, and then we can arrange a further follow-up on any of the topics we mentioned, or discuss anything else you would like to talk about, and help to get more done in less time. Have a great rest of the week and month. Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend.
This is Sarah. She works in HR at an insurance company. Workstreams.ai helps Sarah collaborate with her team on Slack. This is Mike. He works in marketing for an e-commerce platform. Workstreams.ai also helps Mike collaborate with his team on Microsoft Teams. Both Sarah and Mike are active on several different channels. To quickly see the progress and priorities of each channel, they check the status of tasks on that channel's Workstreams.ai task board. But how can anyone stay aligned on a project or a topic where they need to work with people across multiple channels? That's a problem that no existing task tool has successfully solved. It's also a problem for companies of all sizes, whether they use Slack or Microsoft Teams. And it's exactly why Workstreams.ai created Goals. Goals is a feature that takes tasks with the same label, even if they exist on different boards, and houses them all in one place for you to view. This means no more endless searching through threads and no more messaging across channels to find the right information. And for Mike and Sarah, and probably for you too, it also means a workflow where less time is wasted and more things get done. See the difference for yourself by using Goals on your next project with Workstreams.ai. The application with the best task management solution for both Slack and Microsoft Teams has just reached a new frontier. Now, you can keep track of your Workstreams.ai tasks right on your Google or Outlook calendar. After loads of careful research and close discussions with customers like you, We discovered that many of you make important planning decisions by first consulting your calendar. You also use your calendar as a space to communicate what you're working on and when to the people on your team. To keep our promise of uniting the spaces where you both plan and communicate, we made your Workstreams.ai tasks visible on the calendars that companies rely on most. Since day one, Workstreams has been all about making your workspace a more transparent and focused world, where it's easier to both discuss and plan your work in the same spot. By connecting your tasks and your calendar, you're more free than ever before to plan and share your work with everything you need to get things done. Connect your calendar with Workstreams.ai today. App Home is your space on Slack where you can get a real-time overview of your personal performance as well as the performance of your entire team on Workstreams.ai tasks and goals. If you go to your App section on Slack and select Workstreams, you'll be taken to our App Home section. We've taken the most important performance indicators from our application and brought them into your space on Slack, so it's easier for you to access them and take action. It can seem like a lot at first, but App Home just has 3 sections: the main menu, your display of your personal performance, and the display of your team's performance. Let's start just by looking at the main menu. The main menu has a list of shortcuts that make essential actions, such as task creation or accessing task boards, quick, easy, and straightforward. That's essentially the main menu. To get a personal overview of how you're performing on Workstreams.ai tasks, you can go to the Personal Overview section, right below the main menu. Here, you can see which tasks assigned to you are currently planned, in progress, and completed. You can also see overdue tasks. If you want to see which tasks you're following, click on the button with the eyes right below the list. Let's say I'm thinking a little bit more strategically and I want to get a better idea of where I'm spending most of my time and energy. By looking at my top activity, I immediately see the Slack channels where I'm most active on Workstreams.ai tasks. If your work is more organized around labels or larger team goals, you can view those metrics by using the drop-down. To get a more complete picture of your most up-to-date activity, click on Tasks Activity History. But App Home isn't just about your personal performance. You can also check the performance of your team. If I'm a manager trying to evaluate team performance, I can easily get a breakdown of task completion by channel. Additionally, I can see how consistent that completion rate is over different time periods. Depending on the time span I set, my flowchart will appear differently, so I can see what rates of task completion are an anomaly and which ones are consistent patterns. If I see a pattern on a particular channel that catches my eye, I can investigate it further by going directly to that channel's task board, simply by clicking the button View Task Board. If you're using App Home and there's a metric or a feature that you'd like to see displayed here, please get in touch with us. By leaving us feedback, you're helping App Home grow and develop in a direction that is as effective for you as possible. Be sure to try our award-winning App Home today.